start up
I'm
on.
watching it on Twitch.
Yep. We're all good. We're all live. So welcome. Welcome. Yeah, I think we're up on.
Hello. Cool.
Yeah, you were saying
welcome,
Magna, right?
welcome.
Sorry.
What's that? Oh,
Sorry.
What?
All good. Yeah,
Ooh.
I was just gonna do a little intro. So just have our welcome our listeners. Looks like 3 so far, so that's probably us 3. Sweet.
Yep, that's us 3.
Hello, me. Cool. So yeah, we do this every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Just do a kind of talk about where the markets might be headed this week, look at calendar events. We do a macro view and then we go into more specifics. So we always like to start on the US dollar, check out the economic calendar, see what's going to move the market potentially. And then we go to the majors in crypto and then typically down to the alts and answer any questions, look at any charts that the viewers want to check out. So yeah, send your comments in and send us some chart thoughts and we'll look at it. So yeah, starting off with the dollar, we're on the daily chart. Kind of staying in this range that we've been in for the past couple weeks. And we know that, yeah, so let's just look at the technicals here for the most part. So we still are in this tight range here. We've ranged in this spot before, and we still haven't taken out that previous low. We have made a couple of, attempts there and sort of an equal low situation here. Zoom in a little bit. I kind of expect that to be taken out sometime soon, whether it's this week or next, or just in the near future. I'd like to go down to the 4-hour, check out a little bit more detail. So last week, I was kind of watching this little trend build up, these rejections, pretty hard rejections right there with those big wicks. Not as much here, but still pretty much the same thing. Erase that whole candle, bullish candle, erased by a bear candle, making a general kind of trend, 3 equidistant points in this direction. You guys know that I like to call that an acceleration period, where there tends to be a buildup of stops in theory above each of those highs, and you see a big candle or two usually accelerate through that area. That is kind of what we're looking at today here. And I've been kind of waiting for that sort of thing to happen if we weren't going to get the lows first. Do we continue running up into this range today? I'm not quite sure. I'm not seeing an argument for a lot of volume today to really boost in any one direction, just because of what we have on Wednesday, which is FOMC. So we'll take a look at the Forex Factory economic calendar. This thing.
It's a big week, officially.
It's a big, yeah, we finally have a week and that is big. Let's see. So yeah, wow, absolutely nothing today. Usually there's at least something probably on the, well, it doesn't matter. There's usually nothing on Mondays anyway. So I'll just do the highest impact. The orange and red have the most impact. So we have a few things tomorrow, nothing real market moving. Consumer confidence will give us a little bit of an idea about how people are feeling. Wednesday, of course, is our big red day, our big day of potential movement in the market. Pretty much like, oh man, this week really is huge, huh? So second half of the week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all have major events. So we could see some wild moves in the market. Wednesday, of course, we have FOMC statement, funds, federal funds rates are coming out, job openings, manufacturing PMI, and the non-farm. Every single one of these is like pretty big. And then following that, Thursday morning, we have the British rates as well. We have Euro rates. Following that, and after we've got U.S. unemployment claims. And then Friday, we have NFPs, what we call NFPs, non-farm employment change, sometimes expressed as non-farm payrolls. I guess that is different, but anyway. Unemployment rate. So, yeah, typically, as you've heard mentioned before in this stream, typically for the most part, the closer we get to those big events, say, Monday night going on Tuesday, the markets tend to kind of go flat or not as active, not as much volatility because they're waiting. They're sitting there waiting for a number to come out. And then, you typically will see a little bit more action. Often it's delayed because maybe everyone is expecting more action. So it might stay flat for longer than you want it to, and then it'll make a big move when you least expect. And sometimes it'll just go crazy, be a whipsaw back and forth. So yeah, as far as the dollar goes, of course, when it goes up, we generally kind of expect crypto and other assets trading against the dollar to move generally against in the opposite direction. Excuse me. I am expecting this area to at least get taken out. I have a little bit of a bias up short term, and then from there, I'm not really sure. If rates are lower, we could see the dollar make new lows and come wipe out these lows, as well as this one down here at 101.30. That could be good for crypto. Yeah, that's my take on the dollar. Did one of you guys want to do Bitcoin or majors?
Here, I'll take over. Yeah, from this point. Yeah. Yeah, you want to switch over to my screen?
No?
This is the same dollar chart that Wick was showing. Yeah, you saw his rejects, those big wicks going up. The blue is this EMA 8 that I always talk about. It's a daily EMA 8. So if you look at it on a daily chart, it looks better. It's only when you do it on lower time frames it has that step looking pattern. Okay, but the Wick and Vlad, you guys are more familiar with how I trade this. So again, you saw the constant rejections on this EMA, and then finally you see a pretty solid reclaim today. And of course, the day's not over yet, but it's looking pretty strong. That it's at least going to close over it, and that's kind of in line with what Wick's talking about. So yesterday was interesting because it had these insane run ups, and it had ran up for quite a few days in a row. It was kind of an interesting situation, but now you see this pullback. You head on over to crypto, you see the pullback, and that's kind of what you want to see as a bull. You don't want to see us pumping all the way into Wednesday. You do want to see a pullback before you head into Wednesday. That's my opinion. But yeah, again, today S&P let's not look at this one. Let's go to this one. Not looking good, Brev. Just consistent down. So again, this is you'd rather see this than, if you're a bull, than seeing a pump. Excuse me, a pump into Wednesday. So yeah, where this goes into Wednesday, yeah, nobody knows. Everyone's just guessing. Everyone's pretty much priced in 25 basis points. And so, who knows what Powell can really say that'll change things. But again, it gets traded pretty crazy around that speech and everything anyways. But when it comes to the big dogs, let's look at Solana. No, not this one. This one here. On Solana, this is a monthly chart. Let's not forget that monthly close is tomorrow. And so monthly close is tomorrow. Pretty good monthly chart. I mean, we all know that the month has been pretty good on all these Bitcoin, Ethereum, all have had pretty solid months. But as you look into this monthly candle, there's not a whole lot of tail here, not a whole lot of wick. It's just a very small PP wick down at the bottom. And those of us know that usually, yeah, when you start off something like that, yeah, especially a year, it's something that's probably going to get revisited at some point. So yeah, when it came to some of these things, though, I mean, it's interesting because you kind of can't rule out the possibility that we're going to have some reclaims here in Q1, and some reclaims of this. Where am I? Let's go to Bitcoin. Some reclaims of this level because we've peaked above it pretty good and had some decent action there. But most of it was yesterday on a Sunday. There's not a lot of volume. So, but again, if it does break up above this and starts closing above this, I mean, there's some serious, there's some room to run there. There's a lot of money to be made up there. And that's why I took the position where, hey, I'm going to be positioned that it's possible it could move upwards, but then my invalidation was so tight and so easily defined, it was easy to cut. So yesterday on Sol, just doing these monthly parallel channels with the mid-range, you see we're like right at this mid-range. Are we going to reclaim this mid-range and start moving towards the top? And that was something that, hey, I was thinking of buying some spot, but I decided to wait, and it's a good thing I did. All right. So when it comes to the 12, yesterday we had this 12-hour chart on the close, had this SFP, and it was great. And so it was just an SFP where it just barely peaks above, and there was the 200 SMA that I had on my other chart that I shared with the group yesterday. And in my opinion, there was just no way it was going to just keep running above that. So the invalidation for the short was easy to take, especially on a Sunday move. So I shorted it down pretty far, but then I ended up closing it right around here, thinking, here, let's take these candles out. Thinking that, hey, you see all these touches to this level. If this is going to turn it into support, then I at least want to be ready for it. But I needed some closes above that to make a move. And we didn't get, of course, then I woke up in the morning and it had shit the bed. So that's why I always make jokes of confirmation, but there are times where, yeah, you got to wait. And that's what I did there. So with this big pullback, see, now it's like, what's happening now? Well, yeah, it's interesting. You kind of got to go like lower time frames, but I think Vlad's gonna be better talking about these, the month, the week, and how it comes with the oscillators, the RSI type stuff, and if that's gonna give us any direction for some trades setups. So I think I'll hand it over to Vlad, talk about some of that.
I'll give it my best shot, I suppose. I wouldn't say that we're necessarily looking great. But yeah, let's start over here with Bitcoin. And yeah, so, well, Magna, you know that I like, in terms of divergences and oscillators. I think you have a sort of very clean example. It's kind of this, it's like this the 3 nights pattern, or I can't remember what it's called, right? But it's kind of the inverse of that. Which usually
like the three drive pattern.
Right, yeah. So it kind of has, you have sort of the 3 drive pattern up here as well.
Oh yeah.
with some kind of inverse, happening, and also you have this obviously on Bitcoin, you kind of stacked up liquidity, just a bunch of equal lows that looks like they at least deserve to be probed, right? And then there's this big gap coming down, and then actually reasonably equal lows down here as well. But that would be like a bonus target. But so there's definitely objectives on the downside.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, considering looks fairly exhausted here. Wouldn't be surprised to kind of fill in down until something.
And that RSI is like out of the range that you're talking about, where that if it does do that, you're looking to start testing the bottom of the price range.
Yeah. So basically,
Is that what I'm seeing there?
so first target would be here. So right around 22,000.
Yeah, for sure.
Which, and I mean, that lines up.
But wasn't that one?
Bunch.
Yeah, wasn't that one time you're talking about where you have the RSI, goes that high above oversold with that kind of pattern? Then it's not just going to, go first target. You're talking it could possibly go to the bottom of the range.
Yeah.
Or did I miss? Okay.
No, that's definitely true, and I guess here it depends on what you see kind of as the here. On Bitcoin, there's definitely a lot of objectives here on the downside that you could see build.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, and that would line up with the creating a lower wick for work our way.
It's gonna happen.
Work our way down there, or we just kind of reset momentum by just doing this. And we continue to do this kind of slow creep and then kind of pop higher.
Which if you see some like earnings that come out that signal that recession is not imminent kind of thing, you could probably see a move upwards like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Add that to some fundamentals.
Yeah, just looking at the overall picture. Ooh, boy. Yeah, that's yeah, every time you showed that kind of pattern with that RSI div, that 3 drives, yeah, it's usually reverted pretty hard to the downside.
It's so clean.
Yes. It is. I know. I need to work on that one. When did you spotted that? Let's see. So yeah, that was spottable a few days ago. It probably confirmed like yesterday or something.
Yeah, I think we were talking about it, I guess, on was it Tuesday last week?
Yeah, right.
On some of it, at least I remember we were talking about the one that was forming on Bitcoin. That's a tricky thing with these as well, right? Like it was climbing for a fair bit when it already had created
that
a pretty big divergence. So it's definitely not like a precision tool, in itself, but forming some sort of bias the next peak, I guess. Yeah, more downside.
All right.
Seems the most likely to be. ETH BTC also looks weak daily.
Yeah, it's playing out pretty hard right now in real time.
I guess
All
audio
right.
is a bit choppy, Douglas says.
Oh, is it?
Is
Who's
it on
audio?
all of us? Yeah, is it just one person? Doug?
No, what? Oh,
Okay,
Vlad.
me.
Vlad
Yeah,
is
it
choppy.
could be me. I'll hand it over to you.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah. So I am. You got it on my screen. All right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what I was looking at was Lido was a solid play, and it just kept giving these re-entries above the daily EMA, so I kept taking them, and it kept working. And you just got sometimes you're long until you're wrong, and that's what happened a few days ago. I think maybe Friday was kind of the end of that run, so I kind of backed off that. But now you see this daily candle is pretty ugly. Yeah, it's pretty bad. So I would be looking at a possible re-entry here, possibly around 180 ish. You got a monthly VWAP here, about 180. I would probably start looking to possibly re-enter this trade around there. Um, but yeah, that one's taking a big hit today. That was down 12%. Looking at Aptos or Craptos, as people like to call it. Let's not look at that one. No, let's not look at that one. I'll get my charts mixed up here, guys. Aptos. Yeah, it was flirting around with this support level yesterday. And then and I was, talking to the guys here that, I was looking for a short entry. Well, I was hoping it would get, back up, start filling in this wick from a few days ago, and then take a short. Well, it happened overnight. And so I didn't, I wasn't going to set resting orders on something like that just to get blown out. So it happened overnight. And sometimes you miss. That's just the way it is. But damn, that's a big one right there. That's a sweet short. You see now it's tapping right off the daily EMA. It's tapped right off that. But I mean, this is a daily chart. You got to see those equal highs. Would you be interested in those equal highs there, Wick? I mean, look
I
at
mean, at some point,
that.
of course. Yeah.
Yeah, at some point.
Oh, perfect.
I mean, and this thing has just been a monster. So yeah, I mean, there's people
Mm-hmm.
selling, taking profit and all that, but 14 might be a pretty good entry if it gets down that far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
General
mean, I'm
kind of.
not. Yeah, I'm not looking for any long. I'm just looking at the last level, last cluster area. If you're going to do some order blocks or something, you could probably find something a little more specific. Or if you're going to do some fibs, then the fibs might give you a better entry than what I can do. But the fibs are above my IQ grade, so
Mm-hmm.
I just stick with the simple lines on chart make boing kind of thing. And but other than that, I mean, yeah, that's pretty ugly. I mean, it sucks that I missed it, but hey, you can't hit them all in a 24-hour market. You just can't do it.
Yeah.
Um, mhm. I wouldn't get too aggressive playing off this daily EMA for this one right here. I personally wouldn't with the way things are looking overall. But if it starts hanging out around here and starts showing some signs that it's not going to dump further and the overall BTC is looking, okay, then I might start making plays off this daily EMA. But until then, I'm not doing it today. No way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I get
also,
that.
yeah.
Go ahead.
And then let me go to the Doge. Remember we talked about in the last stream? I said I don't
Mm-hmm.
short Doge. I don't short Doge because it only takes one tweet from Elon. It only takes one. And you guys saw earlier today, there was a tweet or something from Elon about Doge. And you saw it was a pretty monster run up is this candle right here at 6:15 in the morning, my time, 9:15 for the rest of y'all in the East Coast. But yeah, and then just monster retrace. My question is, who the hell is buying this? I mean, you really think that a tweet is really gonna send this thing above this right here? I mean, but hey, that's what makes
Yeah.
a market. That's what makes a market, though, right?
Yeah. That
Um,
caught a lot of people in late for sure.
God, I mean, that's just the way that's a market. But I mean, what just a disaster. So again, I mean, if you're sitting here, if you started sensing weakness on Doge, somewhere around this area, and you took a short, well, that one tweet, random ass tweet, can blow you out. However, looking at Mask, Mask benefited from the same tweet. It didn't retrace as hard. So this is something I gotta be looking at. This old level, this 355 levels from way back, a long time ago when he first announced that I was playing levels off this thing when it ran up hard when he first bought Twitter. So I don't really know the validity of it anymore, but it seems to be somewhat valid. But again, wow, I mean, it's not retracing as hard. If I start seeing some 4 hour, some trend looking okay, I
Man, that
might
looks
think of
pretty
taking it
good.
along. Yeah, I might
Hmm.
start thinking of taking along on this because only slightly because it didn't get hit as hard on this whole thing as Doge, which is
Hmm.
yeah, it's kind of an interesting dynamic. But I'm not getting too aggressive yet. Um,
Yeah, what was it? The 1 hour you had it on just previously?
yeah, a minute ago, I think. Well, I had it on. Yeah, I had it on 1 hour right here. Yep.
Yeah, that's a nice looking long setup, actually.
I
I
know. See,
mean, if it follows through today and this, I don't know, ahead of the events this week, that's the kind of tough thing to call. But
right, and
man,
you see,
that just looks like it needs to resolve upward at least, I don't know, maybe half the way, or even if
yeah,
it's to like 340 or 45, like.
and
Hmm.
you see how it just bounced right off those EMAs right there. And like I said, I
Hmm.
don't treat EMAs as support. You guys know I don't treat it as support because it's not support, but it's a level where algos kick in and people do trade off of it. So I do too. But so you see that. So if I would have been paying attention, I might have taken along on that. But I'm not feeling that frisky right now, anyways, and I wasn't paying attention, so I'm out for now. Um, I don't know. I might start looking for something if it starts coming down here and looking halfway decent. We'll see.
Nice. I have a fun, the trade I took overnight was the OP. Do you mind switching over to me, Vlad?
Yeah, that was nice.
Unless you had something else you wanted to show for sure.
No, no,
Okay.
no, no. It's all you, man. That's a nice short you talked about yesterday. I should have taken it.
Yeah, this was I mean I don't trade OP a lot actually. I know Vlad does a lot more. But this was just one of those, fractal things I kind of was checking out and had the idea, just the little thesis that okay, if we're up making these highs and we're continuing to go close to the highs that have been made, and we have these heavy hitter events, this week, midweek, what is going to make us drive even higher? I mean, you have your outliers like, like the Doge thing and like Mask, but so that was kind of the case there. And then I just played around with the fractal thing. And this is the 4 hour chart. And this is kind of messy here. It's not no candle for candle by any means, but I went back and I looked at this one here. And so this general area.
I didn't know you traded fractals, bro. Yeah.
So that kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, that's ever since I discovered that was just on TradingView, been playing with it more. But I don't know. I don't like to use it just as, I mean, I know, things repeat, and if you find a fractal on a pair, it oftentimes the pair has a certain personality and it will repeat things. Um, and so I've been kind of playing with that idea a little bit. But this is, I saw this and it's, there are some differences, of course, mainly some time differences, but like I'm looking at kind of this thing, uh, you know,
Hello.
can you hear?
I think we lost. Yeah, I think you chopped up for a minute.
Oh, can you hear me? Can you
I
hear me?
can.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
So, okay. This kind of thing. Um, so yeah, I just kind of saw, okay, well, we came up, ran up, we have this like lower high, this higher high, came down, kind of broke this little low here, did a similar thing here, and made another run higher, and we have kind of these like 3 points. This one here came down a little higher, and then a little lower, and just a general idea. And we came down and we get this little over here, this little up
Yeah.
candle, little move
Mhm.
up, down. So we've gotten that so far. Like I started the trade basically at this drop here, but over here. And that's
Yeah, yeah.
literally my entry right there. That was pretty sweet. But
Yeah, that's nice.
yeah, we're basically getting that. We kind of got that candle thing there. Of course, this is stretched, so it's a very rough idea. I don't even know like if this is the scale it should be at, if it'll really go that low. That seems like a pretty big drop. Could just come maybe into here, maybe fill this gap. But I do like the way this generally lines up. You know, this comes down, kind of accelerates. Um, we get maybe a low here that sort of bounces off of this for some sort of equal low thing, comes back up, drops, cleans up some of this area below this low. Maybe, this bottom kind of tags into this order block area. Just a general idea. Comes back up, cleans up some of this, gap spot here. Maybe if we get a gap down here again, it comes back up and cleans some of that up. And then kind of the assumption would maybe be to run a little higher. But, this could all happen in a much shorter term or just not at all. Of course, these fractal ideas are pretty loose. But I liked the idea. I liked the way it looked. And then that kind of in confluence with the fundamental, events thesis, that ended
Yeah.
up working out pretty well. So
Yeah.
far I took some off on the break of these lows.
Yeah, it's going to zero. Yeah, just kidding. It's a very popular coin, man. There's obviously some fundamentals that Vlad probably knows a lot about where there's something to this thing. It's not,
Yeah.
it's not vaporware like some of these other ones. But then again, maybe next cycle will be vaporware. Just never know about these things.
Yeah, that's
Damn.
kind of, I had that thought as well. Like Vlad would probably have a good argument potentially. In my mind, I was thinking like Vlad could say something like, "Well, I can't go this low because strong fundamentals or something," and that's part of my play there. But anyway, yeah, that was kind of a fun one. See how that plays out. See if it follows that whole thing, or if this is kind of the end of it. Who knows?
Yeah. So let me ask you this. So if myself asking for a friend, if someone was to get a re-entry on this short, where's a level where you think that they might get a re-entry?
Yeah,
That would be,
I mean, I would,
yeah.
if I was going to go ahead and look for a re-entry on here, it would basically be this, like a pullback. Man, I mean, look, it probably lines up. So I'd probably think like, okay, this might not like break this low real soon.
Okay, where are we at right now? Yeah, I'm kind of having a hard time seeing the.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
just like that. So here, I'll stretch it out here. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Is it a Discord? So we're at
So
208 right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. I see it now. Okay.
Nice. What was that? So this kind of lines up where kind of a logical reentry might be. You could even call this a fib thing. That would, if we went down here-ish, that would come up
Like right there.
just above like a mean reversion thing.
Right. But not all the way up
6-2 area. Yeah, unless we kind of grab below this low here and then we actually tap that. But it's pretty much going to be like the 6-2.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay.
618 fib there for the most part.
Is that how you came up with that bar? Is that how you came up with that bar? Was going 6-2 or 618?
No, this bar here.
That long bar you have on your projection.
This one here.
No, I don't see you moving anything.
Oh, you don't?
That right there. Yeah, that one right there.
Okay, I think there's a delay.
Yeah, a little
yeah.
bit.
So that's literally just part of the fractal. So I took that fractal from here
Oh, okay.
Um,
Nice.
right? So that's this right here, and it'll take a second because you have a delay.
Nice. Okay. I see.
See
I
that?
got you, man.
So,
Yeah, I got you.
um, and then, but of course, again, the fractal thing is just a general idea, but
But when you throw
yeah,
the
like
fib, the fib thing in there, that could work out pretty well. Okay.
yeah. So, I think this is this kind of target down to 150, or I mean, I've got a target at like 160 for the rest of it, but I really don't know. Um, that I don't know. It doesn't seem crazy, but it's very possible we could just come and fill this little gap here and then continue higher. Um, but there, it's like maybe. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I wasn't saying anything. No.
Oh,
See, that's
yeah.
what
I
I
don't know how
that's what
much.
I need. That's what I like. To learn from you guys is that okay. So sometimes you miss a move, and then there's the bearish retest. Stuff like that. And so at what point, can you, if you're in the trade, take half profit and then compound on a bearish retest, or guys like me who missed it. Yeah, sometimes I like to know how you guys use those fibs to find out, this could possibly be a reentry if you missed it, and that's why I asked. That's good.
Mhm.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, and I guess when would that be a valid re-entry? It's like, okay, if we come up and retrace, up to this wick area here, and you decide you want to go short here, does the timing make sense? Like maybe we do just come up back into the range a little bit ahead of Wednesday and
Hmm.
come down a bit because the dollar is like moving back up into that range that we
Yeah,
looked at earlier,
yeah. There's some
ahead of
serious,
Wednesday.
some serious
After,
correlation going on. Hmm.
yeah, and we're still, hoping and half expecting dollar to be like moving up for the most part going into Wednesday so that it can go down and make a new leg after, I think is the general idea. So that would kind of cater to this idea happening before.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, I don't really want to be in a trade going into Wednesday because we could see just like some wild,
Oh yeah.
something
Yeah.
crazy, just like boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom, whatever.
they'll, they'll take you out no matter how good your entry is. They'll take you out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very
So
nice. That's
anyway, a
good.
lot of time spent
Thank
on
you.
that. So
No,
yeah,
I appreciate it, man. I know my weaknesses, and I appreciate it.
awesome.
Vlad, you got some low cap gems for us or what?
I don't have many. I don't have many low cap gems. Can share this. Let's see. Uh, yeah. So you were asking about OP, I suppose.
OPP.
The OP token, what it is,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
to speak. So it's a layer two to Ethereum.
Right. Yep.
And the OP token is, well, it's basically the governance token. So nothing super new there, like on the surface, but they're getting a lot of traction, basically. Yeah, and so you can see they have like 31% market share on the roll up or layer two.
Is this like all time high territory that it was in like a couple days ago?
Let's see. So this is April this year, but I mean it's trend right now is up
I
as well,
think
right? Um,
no,
but
I think
this
I
is
think it was an all
total,
time high.
I think, though.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah, yeah. Here, man. So we had a couple of these coins hit price discovery, and we didn't discover them until it was too late.
Mhm.
Damn.
I was actually part of the airdrop for this one. It's pretty sweet. I think I was like providing liquidity on synthetics like $50 or something. Ended up being airdropped. Well, some
Oh yeah.
like 5K or something.
Wow, that's nice.
Yep,
Nice.
that's how they get you, right? And now it's a top token, probably probably highly like
Yeah.
overvalued. I think the float on this is pretty high, so like a large portion of the
Yeah. So
supply is locked up still.
yeah, it's interesting how they could do that and kind of like buy market share, but not really buying it. It's crypto's kind of unique in that respect. But that's why I'm excited to see how this Blur thing is going to work out. This Blur airdrop on the NFT side. We should have just an NFT trading episode on like Thursdays. That would be cool.
Let's do it.
That
Let's
could
do
be
it.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
I
would
could
be fun.
use that. I
'Cause
could use that. Learn something. Yeah. Yes.
Same.
Yeah,
I do not actively trade NFTs a lot like that.
like I do. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, but I'm curious, like what you even do.
Yeah, you take chances and you get burned but it only it's like startup ventures, man. I got startup clients who are VCs and stuff like that, and yeah, they lose 8 out of 10 on their angel investments, but it only takes one or two to really hit it, for them to make a ton of money. But yeah, in order, if we were to do something like that, I would be subscribing to Nansen and getting deep into that stuff, because that's how they got that God mode that you can look in, you can see so much. Yeah, it's amazing. You played with Nansen before, right, Vlad?
Yeah, for a bit when the trial was when you can have the full subscription on trial for like a week or something.
Yeah, for like 7 days.
Yeah.
It was fun. Yeah, it was cool. We did it right at the end of the NFT bull market last time, and so then the market hit kind of a bear market. So then it was like no use to keeping the subscription going after that.
Yeah, right.
But okay, enough about NFTs. So,
I mean,
right.
I don't know if there's much things that look very good at the moment. For upside,
something
really.
that looks like a good. Is there anything we could trade like soon?
You mean like NFT wise?
No, just a chart that looks tradable like in the near term here.
I assume
for crypto?
DYDX if you're
Mhm.
looking for like a
I
short
know.
that you could attempt, right?
Ooh,
Uh,
there we go.
I closed mine. I didn't close it short. I had longs from like 215 stuff like that, and I ran that a couple times, but closed them way too early. Obviously,
Mhm.
sucks. It sucks about day trading sometimes.
hmm
Yeah.
That Sol thesis was nice though. That was just taking out that previous high and coming back into the range. That was solid.
Yeah, and it was it was worth at least to have it on the radar in case that did happen, because it has happened on a few of these coins, in like the lower time frame ranges. But oh well, it's not happening right now. But man, if we are going upside, we're gonna start looking for entries on these pullbacks, for longs. And I know we'll discuss them in the
hmm
chat. We'll discuss them in the chat in real time. But I mean, some of these targets we have for shorts are actually going to be, could actually be, great entries for longs, if things start evening out later in the week. I know it is what a crazy week though. I mean, normally, non-farm payrolls is enough to get people on edge, and then this time you got FOMC and non-farm and interest rates from Europe. I mean, so 24-hour market's going to be nuts.
hmm
Yep.
Yeah, and by the way, like speaking of, you mentioned that we post things in real time in the chat. For anyone wanting to check that out, come in and learn something or post something. Everyone is welcome. So yeah, go to our
Yeah.
Discord link at the bottom of the Twitch stream there, and we're in the trading channels. We have like markets, leverage trading. Spend most of our time in the leverage trading channel. That's kind of our real time, chat. So yeah, that's where you'd find us there.
Yep. Come on in, share some setups. You know, we always have something to learn from each other. Nobody's nobody's uh nobody's Einstein yet.
Yeah.
Yep. Except Vlad. Vlad's man. So Vlad, tell me about this 15. Tell me about this 15-second chart, man. I mean, on the what's that, agro trade or something like that? What was that
Yeah, give
website?
us some
Why
give us
15
some of that.
seconds? Yeah, that's good stuff.
All right,
Or
let's
is that too
see.
much alpha?
Let's see.
That's too much alpha for the stream, bro. Too much alpha.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're 7 viewers. We're 7 viewers, so we're okay to dilute this, I think.
This is crazy.
Let's stop
This
working.
feels
It's gonna
crazy,
stop
man.
working after this stream.
Yeah, so like, okay, number one, worth mentioning is that I think this tool is broken to some degree. Like, I don't think it's showing all of the orders necessarily. Like, this is supposed to be like an aggregate of, all exchanges.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so I think there's something wrong with it, or as far as I understand, like the way that exchanges report liquidations have kind of changed a little bit. So this might be just a fluke that I found, but what I found is that when this tool reports liquidations, and especially, of course, the bigger the liquidations are, then you can use that to do like fairly consistent, like mean reversion style trading. So I guess we can look at this, the draw.
So
right?
yeah, my question here is, so you're using a 15-second chart on this. What are you actually trading? On your other chart. I mean, are you trading a 15-second chart for real?
No, so this could be
Okay.
just for finding the entry.
Yeah, finding mass liquidations. Yeah.
Right. And yeah, so number one, like what I found is that in like quieter periods, it was really like bouncing from one liquidation to the other. Like it was always moving to the opposite. So it would liquidate some longs somewhere, and then it would move on to kind of liquidate some shorts, blah blah blah. But like when you have these big drops, it's fairly useful just to have it open as like a second tool.
Yeah.
Right, because you can see also here you have like your delta candles. You can see where like we begin here basically is where the majority of liquidations start, and we have like this big only selling candle, and I think we sort of the climax of liquidations is this candle, or possibly, sorry, this is actually the most liquidations in this candle. So yeah, so liquidate like $47 million dollars worth of open positions in this candle, and then you see it like significantly drop off. So in this candle, it's only $26,000, and in this last candle, it's actually a little bit more here again, but it's 2.1 million. So you can see how like we begin with a lot of liquidations, and then it kind of dies out, and
So
that is enough, right? That's enough to say like, oh, for the moment, for the time being, this marketplace is kind of starved of sellers,
Nice.
or forced sellers rather, right?
Forced sellers. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like we have found all of the forced sellers at this level, and that usually means that we start drifting up.
Yeah, I was about to say, at what point do you get the confidence at the lower end that there's not a lot of liquidations to be had? Normally, I'd look at an open interest chart to see a major decrease in open interest, meaning that the longs got smoked. But what are you using on this, or are you using that on another chart?
So I would use that on another chart. most likely.
Okay.
Like, so this is just like definitely a confluence tool in that sense.
Yeah.
Um,
Nice. Okay.
so
That's
whichever
nice. Have you
style,
looked at?
you know, yeah,
Yeah. Have you looked at Kingfisher? Have you looked at the Kingfisher at all?
have not.
Okay. Yeah. It's very similar in that respect. I don't think it's free, but yeah, but it is. Well, there are some free things in it, but it does give you something similar to this. But I think for the liquidation thing, most of those things make you pay for the liquidation because they know how people are willing to pay for it. So that's why this one's nice. I'm gonna keep working at it, keep looking at it.
Hmm.
Yeah, and so like, I mean, here's another example, like a recent example on Solana.
Uh-huh.
Here you have one liquidation candle with 1.5 thousand liquidations only, and then this last candle here, which is 8.3 thousand liquidations in this one. And just some quick, like if you do some quick math on this candle, like it's $84 million of a candle, but the liquidations were like way less. And you can see that the delta of this candle is like aggressive market buying, right? So
Okay.
you can see that there was a short closing here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A short was closing into long liquidations, like forced selling. And I mean, like that's the guy, right? That's the whatever smart money or whatever people call it.
Smart money concepts. Smart money concepts.
I don't know what people call it, like you call it Vlad concepts at this point, but like that's the guy you wanna imitate, right?
Yeah.
That's the guy you wanna be. Like we found him.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Exactly. Yeah, and so yeah, just buy when he buys, right?
So that was, when was that? Was that shortly before our stream when that happened?
Yeah, pretty much like half hour before, something like that.
15-second. Wow. Okay, I'll have to add that to my my trading view chart just to kind of get a feel for what I'm looking for on a trading view. Wow.
But it's very much like, I mean, you could definitely put this on a 1 minute as well. Like it has up to 15 minutes.
Right.
The thing is, though, as far as I understand, this chart does not load. Like if I refresh this, all of the history is going to disappear, and we're going to start back on 0.
Yeah, that is kind of a bummer about it.
So it makes sense that like, oh, price is getting close to a level you're interested in anyways. Well, now you can kind of go to this tool and then sort of fine tune your entry or get some validation by looking for liquidations or buy delta. Or
what are the MAs you got going on there?
It's just some
price.
Some stuff that I clicked on. I think it's the it's the 7 and the 21 because those are the ones you find on Binance. But again, it's
But 15-second periods. I mean, you're only going back a few minutes, basically.
It's only to be a guide, I suppose.
Yeah.
At this point, like I don't really need MAs. I don't really trade off of MAs, but it is it's a pretty good psychological reminder. If you take a lot of trades, like I do, like mostly scalping, you change your mind a lot. It's pretty good to have these as some sort of like sanity check, so you don't end up, entering a short when you're just, way below the MAs already, for example.
For sure. Yep.
Or any, and it also helps you to see these basic patterns, right, of oversold or like when the delta between price and the MAs, for example, is huge. That's usually a good mean reversion.
Yes, sir.
Play as well. So
nice. Let's see if we have any questions in the. Let's see. I see someone posting the Lev trading. Oh, that's okay. That's Wick. All right.
Yeah. So otherwise,
Cool.
otherwise I don't know what else we have in terms of charts. But I like the idea that you guys were talking about with like if we kind of dump going into the news, it's definitely say more
It's better.
favorable.
Yeah. Now, I had advised a client yesterday who's notorious for not selling. Yesterday that hey, if we pump into Wednesday, you got de-risk heading into Wednesday. And then so we started pumping yesterday, and he messages me, aha, here we go. The Fed's not going to raise rates, here we go. And, we're just pumping, like all morning yesterday or all afternoon. And so I said, you know what? Hey, if we're pumping on a Sunday, you should probably de-risk. And he didn't. So, yeah. So now he's in a worse position than he was when we first started messaging about it. And so who knows? Who knows? He might get lucky if he just holds and then the market bounces. But man, especially he's trading with considerable size, and but you can't help people that can't help themselves.
Right. You're giving them all you can.
Yeah, I'm doing what I can for him. But people do get caught up in the whole Fed pivot thing. That they're they're only raising 0.25. That means they're pivoting. Means this. But hey, there could be a soft landing. You can't rule that out because the unemployment numbers seem to be coming in okay. But again, we're about to find out more here this week with these earnings and the unemployment and all that stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, trading will probably slow down maybe tomorrow, maybe today, and probably get some wild action on Wednesday, back and forth. Then I'm just curious to see if we get any real follow through on Wednesday or if we kind of wait till the end of the week. It's kind of what I'm looking at.
Yeah, it's just one thing after another. I mean, even on these moves today, I mean, is there any reversion plays to be had? And I just don't know if there is.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Do we
yet.
wait till the weekend to make a directional move after all of the data comes out? I don't know, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of opportunities to be had in the range. You don't have to be trading for new highs or a big drop necessarily.
We love range plays.
Absolutely.
Sometimes the trending market's actually harder to trade because you kind of get stuck in your bias, and then you kind of get sidelined, and then you're like, oh, and then it doesn't range when it gets to a certain point, just keeps on going. That's actually sometimes that's harder to trade for me at least. Probably because you get good at range trading because the market ranges 80% of the time, and then when it starts mooning or dumping on you, then you can get caught.
Exactly. Yeah, that's definitely one of my weaknesses as well, is trading these just perfect trending markets. I did catch. It's like I could feel that movement starting to really happen in Solana, and so on the rare occasion that it did work for me, I was there and caught a couple of those legs up, and then after that it got difficult. And
it got weird.
Because then it kept going up more and more, and it was like, oh no, this isn't gonna. That's where you get caught up, and then you have these ranges like we've had the past week where it just is a range. I have to remember, like I was telling myself on this trade I did overnight with that, the OP thing, it made so much more sense. And I have to remember that, like, when I just wait until like things line up a little bit more, in your favor, and then if you just take those trades, probably have a lot higher win rate.
Yeah.
Instead of just stabbing at the chart every day, But anyway. Cool. Well, we are at an hour. Anything else you guys want to go over? I do need to get out pretty soon.
Sounds good.
Yeah, not for me, but do we have any conclusions? I suppose. What is? I mean, if nothing else, for my sake, like, what are you guys thinking? So we want to be sort of. You guys are holding off till Wednesday, like.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned my kind of thought for the week in general. Hmm. I, I want to look for a long, like I want it to come down to a spot where I'm like, I need to go long here, that's, you know, but if we start coming up right here from where we are on a lot of these pairs, going into Wednesday, I want to look for a short to come back into the range. Those are what I'm looking for in near term.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm looking
Nice.
at yeah, I'd love to see more downside so that feel a little more comfy getting into longs as we head into Wednesday. I'm not waiting until Wednesday. Um, if an opportunity presents itself, then I'll take it. But I'm really looking at. I was really hoping ETH would stay at the 1620 level and not lose it, but it did. So 1520. See if it holds there. If not, yeah, we could be going down like a lot further than I want to. Even though I don't hold any right now except for NFTs, um, but those are the things I'm looking at. I'm looking at those kind of higher time frame levels. That if we do get some downward, then I'll fill up and take a chance. Let's go.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, I don't think. I think I'll basically wait Wednesday and see what happens.
Probably the smart thing to do.
Yep.
Probably.
Then again,
I'm a gambler.
yeah, I'll find something on the 1 minute chart for that. All I need is volatility, right? And this little fancy tool, like it is freakishly consistent once you kind of study the interactions on this one.
That's fun, man. Definitely want to do more of that.
Would be this one
Yeah, for
for the
sure.
viewers. Let's see if I can get us on the other screen here. There we go.
Beautiful.
Our
This
exit,
might be the last
I
week
suppose. Huh?
we can use the bulls. Might be the last week we can use the bulls running. You might have to bring out the bear.
Yeah, I was looking for that. I was looking for one actually before this show, but I just didn't have the time today. I didn't manage. It's because we have the music and all this stuff now in the video, so it's like a whole thing. If I want to change something, I need to figure out a way to make that more modular somehow. But we will get there.
All right, guys.
Some good work today.
All right.
You too. And thanks everyone for tuning in. We are not financial advisors. Don't be stupid. And see you guys next Monday or Thursday. I don't know. What are we saying, Magna? Are we doing an NFT show? Maybe Thursday.
Oh,
maybe Thursday. We'll see.
Yeah, I want to do something like that. Maybe not every week, but that would be pretty cool. Especially if we get it. I mean, if we get like another NFT run, then yeah, absolutely, I'd love to do that every week. But yeah,
Cool.
Daily reminder: Compi Pandas floor 2.2 on Blur, and on OpenSea is 2.3. So if you didn't buy the dip, I'm sorry.
Let's go.
Yeah, and if we do, we'll put out a reminder. Definitely go check out our Discord. Usually there'll be a little reminder in the general or maybe in the events section sometimes. And follow us on Twitter. Handles are at the bottom of Twitch. And we'll see you later this week or next week for sure on Monday, same time.
All right.
Absolutely. Goodbye, everyone.
All right. Take it easy.
Yes.
Later.